Ugh. It's cold, it's freezing, it's time for another JDM NYC video. What's up guys, and welcome to another brand new video here on the JDM NYC channel. So this time around, I wanted to go ahead and take the Celsior and go over some, not so much secret, but little known facts and features and functions that, well, this car had way back in 1990. Things that were more thought out than modern day luxury cars. It's amazing. Let's take a look at these things. So first up is these wheels. Very little known fact, on these early model Lexus LS400 and the early model Toyota Celsiors, Lexus put directional rims. Not directional tires, directional rims. So if you really look in, deep, down, and close, you'll see that each one of the wheels is marked with left or right. Yeah. This much attention to detail went into the development of this car. Now the reason that these are directional is that the vanes help produce cooling and guide the air towards the brakes to, well, ensure cooling. Which brings us to something else while we're out here. Notice how this trunk is really clean and does not have an antenna stuck out of it? Right. Well, on the Celsiors, what Toyota did is integrate the antenna into this back window, so we don't have to have an ugly little stick sticking out. What is pretty cool also is if you look at every single Celsier's glass, it's got a stamp on it that says Lexus and Toyota because the same glass can be used across all the different models. So why make two different types? Let's just stamp both onto each glass and we can interchange it across our entire product line. How great is that? So the interior of this car has a lot of different unique little features and elements, things that weren't necessarily there in the American spec Lexus LS400, and they're just enough different to be pretty cool. First thing is this little button here, that display over there. So this button just turns on the display for your Piezo Tms Suspension. Now this was Toyota's own electronic modulated suspension that worked off of piezo crystals, and depending on the shock that they absorbed and the amount of electricity that was sent through them, they would expand and compress in order to increase and decrease the ride height and the dampening force of these shocks. And this display over here, as you drive around and as something happens at every single corner on every single part of the suspension, the shock and so forth, this will light up for each corner what's happening and so forth. It's a pretty interesting little thing. Next up is this little area that we have over here. It's a bit different than the Lexus LS400 piece was. So I believe on the Lexus LS400, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, that we have the mirror controls, and then this whole entire piece over here is actually the coin holder. The coin holder on this car pops out just like so. This is our switch for our heated side mirrors. This is the switch to turn, well, let me show you. Let's hit that little switch over there. Forgive the bird shit. Power folding mirrors. This is to turn the remote locks on and off, so you can lock and unlock the car door with the remote. Moving on over here, we have another little interesting button. The only one on this unit that's not translated, so to speak. And I think the reason behind that is that this was just never an option on the American spec cars, so they never felt the need to make this kind of in a, I guess in an English language, as a button. What this roughly translates to is rear extra. So what this would do, say we have our AC up in the front and so forth, and we're having a good time, air conditioner is working, we would hit this button, what's happening now is the airflow is being recirculated, so to speak, to focus towards the back of the car, because in Japan these vehicles were very, very popular as chauffeur vehicles. And when you have somebody in the back, the more important person, who's the person in the back, needs to have the majority of the airflow. That same button is also available over here, so we can hit this. You see the button over there went on too. So you can go ahead and control that from right back here. Now, because this is a luxury car, and a car where Toyota wanted the perfect balance, the least amount of vibrations, the least amount of sounds, this is going to get really annoying as you're driving around on Brooklyn roads and potholes. And Toyota thought this through also. Yep. This area here is magnetized. So you can go ahead and take the little elements that you have. Well, it's a little heavy, but boom. Now your keys don't have to go wobbling around everywhere, hitting the panels all around, making a mess, making a ton of sound. While we are here, I do want to say there is what some people refer to as a hidden feature, where after you've positioned this to the maximum limit that it will go, if you go ahead and hit this 10 more times or so, you'll be able to get a couple more, a tiny bit more movement out of the wheel in whichever direction you'd like it to go. This, however, is not a hidden feature. What it is a great way to ruin the gearing on your actual motor, cause the thing to go out of alignment, and ruin your beautiful power tilting steering wheel function. Don't do it. This, however, is something very cool. So the fender pole. Fender pole. Easier to show. Take a look at that corner of the car over there. Oh! What is that parking pole? Go ahead and put it away. Open it back up. Oh! Like almost all JDM cars, going into reverse has an audible beep to it. Beep, 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 beep. Speaking of audible, this car, with the factory radio that has been replaced in this car, comes with a Celsior branded Pioneer CD changer mounted in the trunk. Like I said, it doesn't work because we have an aftermarket radio that's been put into this car, but still cool. So there you have it, guys. Some great little known, unique, almost hidden features from the Toyota Celsior, some of which may be found on certain model years Lexus LS400s as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you think there's something I missed that should have been in the video, leave it down in the comments below. I'll try to shout it out in the next video about this car. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon.